to professionals and head to confessional. And once I'm in the booth, I feel real congressional. Welcome to the episode. Please like and subscribe. Don't drink and drive when you can smoke and fly. Soaring so high into the night sky, reaching for the stars, but they landed on a moon pie.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Awkward Intelligence. I'm Intox along with
BDot, baby.
And we have a special guest. My mom is in the house.
Hello.
She's nervous, folks, so, give her a break. But, as we go through the show.
First lady on the show.
Yep, first lady on the show. How about that? Check that out. But, yeah, everything will roll smooth as we go. Everybody gets nervous coming on the show. We were nervous at one point for probably many episodes. Now it's just become
up the lip, got it.
Part of the idea. It's like Awkward Intelligence, We're here now. So yeah, I don't what is it? What are we in? August now? Is this August?
Yes.
Episode 34. We've made 34 weeks, man. 34 weeks we have been out here pushing this information.
That's accomplishment, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You think we've started a cult yet or what?
Probably. Somewhere, that we don't know about yet.
Right. Somewhere's going, we believe. Right. We believe.
Some people are believing that.
Yeah, exactly. Some people, that's kind of the perspective we wanted to bring on the show eventually,
Right.
Was as we're bringing all these, there I go. See, that's my phone. As we're bringing these people on, it's a good way for people to kind of see, engage as it's your family members, our friends, and people that we brought on the show, of what their perspectives are and what they're seeing, how they're taking all this in, like how's this affecting them, how are they seeing it, what's their angles, and we're able to do that by bringing like my mom on the show, or like last time we brought Mr. Prim's father on the show, what I mean? So everybody, we can get those different perspectives from those different age groups, even those different people and things like that. That way, because what we're saying a lot of times on the show is we're able to go back to a lot of the old ways that we used to do. They were very simple, and we didn't realize that we were living the last simple life back then, and how everything's changed since then with technology and AI and, the Great Awakening. We're learning all these new things, but we do yearn still for that old simple time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's crazy.
Because that's where it came from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, that's the each one teach one. She taught me all these things to grow up to become this person now, And then over my own experiences, I've taken all that and grown into the person I am.
And now I feel like your generation is teaching us.
Right.
Bringing us forward because we're used to the old way.
Right.
The old school, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you're helping us to understand what's ahead.
Right.
Because it's complicated for us sometimes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Remember we talked about that?
You're right.
Us Generation X being the bridge in the gap from the older generations to the younger generations, because we understand that old way, but we still understand the new stuff because we've been there. So that's part of it, right? That's see how she's seeing it. She is seeing that, how we are
and
bridging.
I feel like not me personally, but a lot of people my age are stuck because they're scared.
Right.
And they don't know, they don't have anyone to show them the way.
Right.
And so they just stay with their comfort zone, their ways.
Right. And that's what this show's about. Awkward Intelligence. It's about being able to be that person for those who don't have somebody, who can come here and find the ideas and feel like I'm not alone. It's not just me, and find those ideas. And if you have questions, email us. We drop the email at the beginning of the show every week. Email us a question. If you have a question or something that you don't understand, you're like, hey, where do I get more information on this? Maybe you just don't know where to look. And there's maybe some way we can teach the community, of the ways and the different things that we do. That's what we're here to do. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's been a great journey.
Yeah, and I've seen it evolve from the beginning where you were stumbling a little bit and now you guys are finding your way and everything's working smooth, and not always smoothly, but you know
Right.
what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, we have a better
right,
handle
right.
on it. Better handle on it. And that's what we were saying. Like we was nervous the first 5 or 6 episodes.
Man.
We didn't know what we was doing. We was like, let's just do this. We don't know what to expect, you know. But yeah, 34 episodes in now. I mean, we have an understanding of who we are and where we want to go.
Yeah.
And now it's just evolving those ideas, executing those ideas, and making it come together. Having these great guests that we can bring on, you know. So, and then they'll just get better and better too, you know. I mean, over time, we'll get better and better, and the guests will get better and better. And you guys, as you come on more often and different times, you'll just be like, it's just a show I do now. You're not even going to think about it no more. You're like, yeah, I'm just doing the show next week, you know. You're not thinking it's anything crazy. Like, you know, like right now, the first time you've ever done it, of course you're going to be nervous. Everybody's going to be nervous. That's just the way it works.
But what I see when I watch it, like I've explained, I half watch it, half listen, because I'm usually doing something.
Correct.
And so I'll watch a little bit and then I'll be doing something. But I've noticed how has evolved. And it's just two people talking.
Having a conversation.
That's it. It's
Yep.
just
It's
having
just-
having
And
a
whatever comes
conversation.
up, and then it goes in one direction or the other.
Right.
But it's very natural.
Correct. That's the
Very
idea.
natural. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah, that's what
'Cause
we.
it's
Yeah.
not scripted. And you can tell some of those podcasts that are scripted, and I don't like that.
Yeah, and for me, when I was seeing that, that's why I wanted to do the show. I want the way, you know, that's why this show wanted to be this way, was because I was seeing that, and that's what I felt. I felt like that's just more programming. You're still programming me at this point. You're
Correct.
trying to make it a certain way to make me believe it's only that way. And I was like, I want to be able to put a show together that's going to show people, you don't have to do all that. I don't have to have all the fancy shit. We don't have to be big editors. We don't have to know how and have multiple camera angles all the time. Yes, we can evolve into that. We can grow into these things. We can try these things. We've done different angles in the studio. We've done different things to try and do many options, you know, just to see where we're going with it, because we're still experimenting with a lot of this too. But yeah, being able to just be fumbling. Sometimes I don't remember that I did something on the phone and I'm trying to figure out, I forgot the Bluetooth, you know. It's like, who knows what happens during the show sometimes, you know. It's the way it works.
It's real life, man.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
I like about it.
Yeah.
It happens.
That was the idea.
It's
Yeah.
exactly what I like.
Real life.
Yeah, exactly. To bring that real life to us and then have the real conversations too. Talk about some of the subjects that are tough that people want to talk about. Because I saw a quote the other day that said, we were taught to not talk about religion and politics because it would get heated, instead of being taught how to have those conversations without having a problem. We just avoided them. And because we avoided them, we don't even understand it anymore. Nobody understands religion. Nobody understands politics. We're just all just running around going, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, because I watch TikTok, right? And they got these people on there saying about the Bible and stuff, and people just going back and forth. They going back and forth with each other and don't know what, you know, what's going on.
No resolutions.
Right.
Yeah. No solutions.
Right. There's no end result to it. They just going back and forth.
They just both want to be right.
Yeah, exactly.
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 And that's the thing, like you're saying, if we had been taught how to talk about it to where I can listen to your opinion, you can listen to mine, even though we don't agree,
Right.
it doesn't get heated.
Correct.
Right.
And people overreact, and
Right.
then they don't talk to each other for years. You know?
Right. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's like we should all be able to talk about whatever we want to talk about, and then have a debate and a civil conversation about it.
That's it.
And then just
I
at the
agree.
end, and then at the end, if you still don't agree, that's fine. But at least we talked it out. You understand my pose and where I stand, and move on.
Or how about you go look up what I said,
Right. That too.
and I look up what you said.
Yeah, definitely. Right. We can each
But-
learn from something. Right.
Man, these people, man, they go back and forth and just like, man, you know what? I don't want to hear this no more. You ain't right. And like, how you gonna say I'm not right? Who's
But
right?
at least, if you, like you're saying, go look at the opposite side.
Exactly.
At least you can understand where that person is coming from and why they think that way.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Right.
And you still may
Right.
not agree with it,
Right.
but at least you understand and have a better understanding of that person.
Bond droppers.
Mom's got the first one.
Hey.
Mom's got the first one.
I was trying to time it, but I don't have a watch.
We're about 10 minutes in.
I'm telling
First
you,
time.
man.
She did that one. She did. I don't know if I told you. I think I remember
Yeah.
telling you that. But she
Yeah.
said it took you 45 minutes before you hit the first one. She's like, I timed it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes, lovely. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, people come to understand it, man. We be all right, man.
Yeah.
We be all right. Everybody trying to be right.
Yeah. Instead of just
Everybody trying to be right.
instead of just getting the information out, everybody just wants to be right. And I think, I was there too at one point. I thought I had the information that other people didn't have. And I was like, not that I wanted to be right, but I wanted to tell everybody because I wanted everybody to know. And that's what I started with. And part of it too was talking to my coworkers, talking to my family, was I'm bouncing the information off of them because I want to see how crazy the shit fucking sounds. You know what I mean? Like, because to me at the time when I'm learning it, it's crazy, but I'm like, it's not. To me, it's not crazy. I'm thinking it's wild, but it's not totally crazy. And then as I'm explaining it to people are like, that sounds fucking crazy. And I'm just, you're crazy. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that's where everybody would jump to immediately. It's like nobody wanted to do the research. Nobody wanted to go, where did you get that information? Nobody wanted, because that's what it is when it comes down to our opinions and ideas. It's you're only having an opinion on the information that you have. So, if I have different information and I'm saying,
very true.
If I'm making an opinion based on this new information that I have, and my opinion may change, because of that. And that's why I'm thinking maybe your opinion might change if you hear this information that I have.
That's so true
Right.
when you say that, because with, you being older than your younger siblings, they opened me up to that, to look at things in a different way,
Right.
not just my way. And not being, I'm the one, because I'm the oldest,
You're the parent, right?
that I know it all.
Just because you're that. You're right.
Just because I'm the parent.
Right.
And so they've made me stop and look at the other perspectives.
Right.
So I think a lot of people need to do that.
There you go.
Dawn droppers. Yep.
Yeah, that's really what this is about for the most part.
Step back.
Is having these conversations is to show people these other angles, these other ideas, and that if you had more information, you might look at it different. That's really all it comes down to, truthfully, So yeah, that's it. That's the idea. Revelations.
Get them out early. Yeah, man. Yeah. And speaking of the generations, so I feel as though relationships with old people last longer because they didn't have social media.
Right. You had to talk to your neighbor, or you
Yeah.
didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You had to talk to the people that were just walking down the street.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Where are you coming from? How
Right.
are you guys doing? What travels are you on? What information can you bring? Because there's no way to gather any information if you're not in the library or you're not reading your encyclopedias or, if you're not doing that kind of stuff back then.
Right.
Your information came from those who came around.
Exactly.
They were out gathering the information, gathering the cultures from people, and bringing that back. And that's why we know how to cook so many different foods now. That's why we have different languages we understand, because we've all been around the world, running around the world, learning all these things, and then bringing them back to our tribes. So we lost sight of a lot of that. And like we've said before on the shows before, we've let the government do the work we should have been doing because we thought they had our best interests in hand. We just were like, oh, they got it. They'll take care of it. That's one thing we don't have to worry about anymore. And they took advantage of that scenario. And that's where we're at.
That's what I keep telling them, because that's the way I was raised is, the government, you trust the government. They know what they're doing. They're there for our best interest. But then as I've gotten, being a young kid and older, that's not the case. It's not always the case, I should
Right.
say.
Right.
I'm not saying they're completely
No, not
terrible,
100%. Not 100%.
But I've
right.
seen the difference, from being older.
Because we have to believe that there's always been a good side in there fighting, because that's why they haven't been able to ever take over control fully. Otherwise, yeah, we would just be in cages somewhere probably, right?
Right.
But because we are still free to a point, more than most in other countries and things like that, those good guys have been fighting for us. But there's also a bad part of that has been fighting against us this whole time. And they got a really strong foothold for years and decades, for all we understand. But now those things are changing. We're seeing it in the news. That's what part of this show is explaining all that to everybody and saying, look at what's happening. Look at the banks. Look at these countries that are going away from the dollar. Look at these countries that are going asset-backed. Look at what's happening in the world. Those are things that we have to bring to ourselves in order to help free the American people,
Bond droppers.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that, people really need to wake up,
Let me get that lighter.
pay attention, and see what's really going on. People
Right.
want to, have that blind eye. A lot of, my generation, they do that. They just like, oh, we'll be fine. But they're not really looking at what's going on.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I realized this recently. You just can't get to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people just
They're not meant to
They're
get
not.
it. They're just not meant to get it at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to see it until they see it. There's no changing them at this point. That's
To the last minute, like they ain't gonna be like, damn, it's too late.
Right.
It's gonna be too late then.
Yeah. There's certain people that are just set in their ways, and
Yeah.
there's just no way you're going to change their minds.
You can't.
Right. So yeah, that's
You
why.
give them examples. You show them. They put in your face in the movies.
Right.
Like,
Everything.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't get to them. Point blank.
Yeah, I think they just said
Lost souls.
last night, Putin just announced in his country that the cabal, the collapse of the New World Order has begun, and that they have and all this. There's more to it. There's more to it. I saw a clip, and they've been trying to confirm it, but they're saying yesterday in his country, he said he released it as the president, saying the cabal, the New World Order is in collapse as we speak. We're fighting them. This is what's happening, which is like some of the first time they've actually announced it. The world has been announcing it as us, as truthers, as the community out here. It's the first time a major politician of any kind has announced that kind of thing.
But a lot of people will not listen to anything that Putin has to say.
Right. Because they believe that Putin is the enemy, because
Correct.
American government, not the people, but the American government has told his story as a villain. But the narrative, when you really look at it all, he's not the villain.
But since I've been a child, it's always been said that Russia's the enemy.
Right. But it's
My whole life.
But it's almost like, why are they saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as a child, that how certain things stick in your head and stay with you forever. And so that's always, in the back of your mind.
Correct.
Are they?
Correct. Right.
Do we trust them?
Right. Exactly.
So it's
No, very true. And that's why I said we grew up the same way. We talked about that on the show before. It was like back in the day, you would, when you were in school, they did the duck and cover. You had to hide under your desk.
Yeah.
Remember that? Hiding under your desk. You're like,
Wow.
if a nuclear bomb hits us,
Right.
what is that gonna do? But as kids, we didn't know any better. We thought we were doing what they were teaching us. That's
what we were training.
I'm
They
in
were
third
training
grade.
us. They was getting our brain
I'm
right
in
then and
third
there.
grade. They're training us to do this shit.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, think about
Wow.
that. But it's like, why, that was the indoctrination. That was the shit we weren't paying attention to because we were that was what we were being taught. They could have been taking us outside and letting us put our feet in the grass and understanding grounding at that time.
right.
That's
Right.
not what they were teaching us. They were teaching us that nuclear bombs were going to destroy us.
Yeah. why
Think
would you-
about that
right.
mind frame they're
Right.
teaching us.
That's what I'm thinking now. Like, why would you even?
And they're trying to tell us that we're getting child abused at home. They're child abusing us right there at school, and we're not even thinking about it.
Well, remember they did used to abuse kids in school.
There you go.
Peddling them.
Yeah. Bomb droppers.
I got one. Remember they got me?
Yeah, it's like
They got me once.
you would go to jail if you spanked your kid, but they were doing it in school.
Right. Right.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was. I think that was kindergarten in San Antonio that happened to me. I think it was kindergarten. I got spanked once because I think by first grade I moved to Delview, and then that never happened no more. They took that away.
Hey, but that was some of these kids' needs though.
Nowadays,
From the parents.
we need to go from the. Yeah, we need to
Really?
we need to go back to that.
I
yeah.
agree.
From the parents. You know what I'm saying?
There's
but
that.
Or at least some type of discipline and accountability.
There's a generation that got no discipline. So yeah, they're out of control. I believe they need to be reined back in. But
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, it's bigger than us. It really is. But that is part of it. Part of it is, like you're saying, there's a generation of people that just got no discipline, and so of course they're not going to follow. They learned something different, so they're gonna follow the rest of their life path different than what we would have. You know,
it's I tell you what it is. It's the control.
Yeah,
it's the music they listen to.
Right.
It's the foods we eating.
Yep. It's the air we're breathing.
Yeah, the air we breathing.
It's everything.
No discipline.
Yeah.
You free. You know, like. Man, it's crazy, man.
And they popping them perkies.
Yeah.
And they popping them perkies.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Exactly. They're hitting us on so many fronts, you know, like you said, with all those right there. Think about all those. It's everything we input. We talked about that the other day, and Mom. And I was telling her, I said, it's, you know, I had to change my Instagram profiles. I had to change all my profiles and get away from the negative inputs constantly. Watching the bum fights, watching the TikTok, challenges, and, you know, watching people robbing people, watching people, you know, all the break-ins in San Francisco. I'm just watching all this negativity for years, you know, just all this stuff on my feed. And then someone, you know, that one of the shows I was watching was saying that. They're like, what are you, they go, it's not only what you eat, but what are you putting in here? Because you might be eating well. You might be eating well, but you're feeding yourself negative thoughts all day. So what do you think that's going to do to you, you know?
Yeah.
So when I heard that, I was like, that makes sense. I was like, so I stopped watching World Star. I stopped watching, you know, all these Instagram things. Like I said, I turned all my Instagrams into learning things, learning spirituality, you know, just stuff that was more friendly and happy. And within the last 2 years, man, my life has changed because I've done that. You know, I've become this person that you're seeing here in Awkward Intelligence. And, you know, my kids see it. My mom sees it. Everybody sees me changing and growing and building and doing things, you know, and I'm trying to be the example so that they can see that it can be done.
Bomb droppers.
Yeah. Because
you're just way happier.
Yeah.
Less stressed.
Yeah. Yeah, the stress, a lot of the stress is gone. I don't even feel the stress no more.
Yeah.
You know, like I used to feel it in my shoulders. Just like I was carrying the world, you know?
They say you get what you put into the world.
Right.
So,
and for the last 2 years, man, I've been putting into the world. You know what I mean? Which is good, and it feels good. It makes me feel good. You know, that what I am doing is changing people one person at a time in ways. You know, started with myself. Like I said, start with yourself. We've always said that. Fix yourself. Get yourself together. Then you can start helping others. And that's what I've been doing for the last year and a half because I fixed myself to a point where I felt good. Now, it's never over. It's always a journey. But I fixed myself to a point where now I can start helping others. And that's what I've been doing for the last year and a half. And then that's why we started this show, so that we can reach even more people, you know. So that's what I was hearing. I kept hearing, keep talking to more people, you know. And I'm just like, I got music. I'm talking to everybody around me. I don't know how to talk to nobody else. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking, you know? And then I was like, we ended up having that conversation, and I was like, you're right. I need to have a podcast. Then I can talk to more people.
That's it.
And it all made sense, and that's why we had to do it.
And that's why we're here now. Yeah.
Welcome to Awkward Intelligence.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's for the first episode.
Yep. Yeah, what was that first episode called? It said, hello, it's us. Remember we went 40 minutes and never even introduced ourselves?
Never.
We're just like, who are these guys? What
Yeah.
is going on?
What?
Here?
I was
don't-
sitting back
What
like,
show is this?
say your
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Say
You're
your
like,
name.
yeah. You're like, I don't even know what show this is.
Right.
Like, what are you even talking about? What is going on here? Like, we didn't
man.
give anything. We just started talking. But you know what? That's what Awkward Intelligence has become, hasn't it? We just start talking. So maybe we already knew where we were headed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just had to gather it up and get it in a format that would work for people to pay attention. That's it. We had to figure that out. That's what those first 5-10 episodes was figuring out a rhythm and an idea so that once we got it, now y'all know what to expect on the show. You watch the show and you're like, this is the kind of conversations I'm expecting. You know, it's going to be a little on the good level. It's going to be a little on the out there level. It's
Hey.
Sometimes we talk about weird shit, so, you know, whatever. So it's like, yeah. It's like you know what you're going to get. It's a mixture of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun.
It's a journey. I'm liking it. I'm liking it myself. You know.
Yeah, I think that last episode when we talked about it, we were like, if you've been here for 34 episodes and you haven't learned anything, then this show's not for you.
At
Very
all.
true. Very true.
You've
If
had
it
to,
hasn't at least awakened you a little bit,
a little bit, right?
something's wrong.
Nice.
Right, exactly. You're really resistive, and
Terribly
you've
wrong.
watched too many episodes to not like what we're doing. You know what
You
I
just
mean?
watching
Like,
to just be watching.
yeah, they're
Nah.
like, if you don't like the content, then move on, go find something else. But if you're still here, that means it's working. You're part of the community now.
That's it.
So yeah, yeah, the Awkward Intelligence community. Y'all are our intel on the streets. You know, that's what it is.
Hey, I see the subscribers going up. Keep subscribing. Thanks for the love. Appreciate it.
Yep.
You know, we keep on dropping out the information.
Yep.
Matter of fact, so what's up with these alien things going on?
Oh yeah. So
What's up with this?
So the government announces that aliens are real, and nobody gives a fuck.
Right. You know what's crazy?
Everybody was like, "Okay, thanks.
I appreciate it.
Keep moving."
It's like finally you admitted it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's basically all it is.
That's all it
now.
was. It was just an
everybody
admission.
knows it's been real for years. It's
Right.
just waiting for the government to say yes.
To agree with us.
You're
Yeah.
correct. We knew.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. That's basically what happened. Yeah.
But like we've talked about, it's like, okay, if they don't want to admit that, what else do they not want to admit? That's how I look at it.
Bomb droppers.
That's how you hit it.
What else are they hiding from us?
Exactly.
I don't know. Shoot.
There is
That's what I say.
so much.
It's so much. Yeah, it's
So much. There's
So
so
much
much
history.
we haven't talked about on this show specifically because that starts to really get into some fringe shit
Exactly.
based on what we already understand. You know what I mean? If we understood more, what I would be saying, you'd be like, oh, no wonder that's the way that is. But you just don't have all the information
You
like a
don't.
lot of other people.
Damn,
A lot of other people in
Ellie.
the world don't have the information I have. So when I start talking about things, it sounds out fucking outrageous, you know, because you just haven't seen the information and the stuff that I've already seen, you know. But that's it. That's all it is. It's just a gap in that. Once we're able to, that's what the show is trying to bring that gap and shorten that gap a little bit. So that way, when you start to see these things in the news, you start to see these things in the world, you're going, oh, I understand it. I have an idea
Well, it makes more
of, it
sense.
makes more sense. Right. Exactly.
Makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because now you have it in your mind. You've been, hearing about it, and then now when you start seeing the things on TV, you're like going, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now I
So tell the people that's one thing that we've talked about before is you've heard me talk about stuff, and then you're watching a movie or you're watching the show or you're doing something, and then you see it again.
I've seen so many things on different movies and TV shows recently, and I'm like going, oh my God, this is everything he's been saying. And it's got to come from somewhere is how I
Right.
look at it. It's
Right.
not just in thin air. I mean, yeah, it could be someone's imagination, but
Right. But so's
when you
everything.
keep seeing it and seeing it, and then looking back, you know,
Older shows, older movies.
Like I keep telling Jeff that keep going back to that Enemy of the State movie.
Yep.
And it's just like, that's when that was kind of like all new about surveillance and how facial recognition, and they knew where you were and all that stuff. And how old is that show?
I was about to go there. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm going to find out. I wanted to see what year that was.
Yeah, what year was that?
Yeah, let's see.
And that was new.
Yeah, at the time. Yeah.
It was really new, and it kind of, that movie just blew your mind.
98.
See, 98.
1998. Everything in that movie, think about this. Remember, we've talked about this on the show.
Yeah.
In 1998, if they were talking about it, that means for years they've already been doing it.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
think about that show that we used to watch, Person of Interest.
Yeah.
I kind of based on
I didn't watch the whole
Enemy
thing,
of
but
the
yeah.
State,
Right. I've seen
where
some of
the
that.
facial recognition, and they knew where you were. They had, they could just get on a computer and there's that person, which is the GPS.
Right.
They track
It's
you.
GPS now, but that's what I'm saying. Think about that.
But it wasn't then.
Think about what they could inject into you and then be able to track you like that. Because all they need is GPS. But what does that take? We don't know.
We don't know.
GPS is magic to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Truthfully, it's magic. We don't know what the fuck it really is. So what could they do to us? Either a phone or, or something injected in us, and they could track us. No problem off of those kind of systems.
So do that with the phone.
Yeah. They could definitely do it with the phone, obviously.
Well, they already do it with the phone.
Right.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Do that with the phones.
But it used to be that, I don't remember what year, but GPS was only for the military.
Right. Yeah.
Military had it, but it wasn't for the general public. But now it is,
Right.
It's been
Which
for
means
years.
the military had it for how long? We don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How long
did
have
they
they
have
had it? So,
Right.
yeah, exactly. That's the idea when you start to get into all this stuff, really. You start thinking like, wait a minute, if they've had it, that means they perfected it before they gave it to us. So how long did they have it? And whatever.
Yeah.
So that's where it starts getting
That's
weird.
why a lot of times I look back and I think of, when I was a child and compared to now, and it's just like, wow. It's crazy.
A lot of change.
Yeah, and it happened gradually, but it didn't feel like it happened gradually. It didn't, you know what I mean? And there's another way to look at it too. Everybody looks at it now and says, wow, everything's gotten so wild, everything's gotten so crazy. The other way to look at it is the veil has finally been lifted. Now you see the craziness. You didn't see it before.
I think that's basically what social media has done.
Bomb droppers.
Right.
That's what I was saying.
Social media and the internet, right, has opened us up to a world of information and ideas that we didn't even realize existed.
See what I'm saying?
Because it was happening, but
Yeah.
you never heard, like the East Coast never heard what the West Coast was doing.
Exactly.
Unless it made like world news, which
Right.
who watched that?
Right.
Very rare.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on. Unless MTV did it every day, though, for 5 minutes. Remember, they would have MTV World News. And they
Oh,
would come
that's
in.
right. But that started in the 80s.
Right, but you
Right?
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that would be the little bit of world news you'd get, and then you'd probably never hear nothing else
Yeah.
about the world. You know what I mean?
Because as a kid, you're not watching the news.
No.
Nobody. No. And back then, there was only 3-4 channels
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
until cable happened
Right.
and MTV.
Shoot.
Yeah, and
There's
then,
3-4 channels on the cable
and then
too.
growing up, we barely had basic cable, so, I mean, you know what I mean?
I think
wasn't
we
watching
had,
TV.
like 20 channels even with
Something like
cable.
that,
I mean, it wasn't
Yeah,
that
it
much.
wasn't that much.
Yeah.
Now you look at it, like we said, step back. Sometimes you gotta travel to your childhood years.
Where was it?
You gotta travel through your. I don't know. Hey, my alarm went off. That's crazy. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
you gotta travel. You gotta travel through your childhood years until now.
Right.
You'll see a change in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you don't, you're blind.
Right. You'll see a change where the food changed.
Yeah,
Or,
like
or,
okay.
or something,
When I was that age, that happened. You got to think about it, and then think about what's going on now. Like
Patterns. Patterns.
You change though.
I see some patterns. We've done that.
Well, we've talked about when you talk about the food, we've talked about that. We were just recently talking about that. How we used to everything was you ate at home.
Right.
You didn't go to all these fast food.
It was a treat to go out.
It was a treat.
Right.
Yeah. Now it's become normal.
We didn't have all the processed food. Everything had to be prepared.
Yeah.
We didn't have all these allergies and sickness and stuff that these kids face today at such young ages.
Right.
We didn't have all that. Mm-hmm. We were healthier because we had to walk. We had to, go. We didn't have the convenience. Not everybody had a car,
Right.
People were taking the bus or whatever. But you were walking. So you were getting exercise. You were outside. We didn't stay inside. We were always outside playing.
Right.
Walking, going somewhere. Mm-hmm. We didn't have the social media, the internet, the TikTok, all the crap that they have now.
I know. Good memory. You got all three of them.
For real.
We were outside.
Yep.
So we were healthy.
Right.
That's what the
Healthier,
That's what the pandemic was trying to show you. Put y'all out inside so y'all would want to go outside. We outside now. Remember everybody was saying that?
Yeah.
We back outside. So yeah, see, just trying to take us back, trying to let us remember. Remember when y'all used to go outside?
Shoot, man.
Had to bring all those memories back, man. We had to start
Just
thinking
outside,
about it.
just hanging outside, man. This shit crazy.
Yeah, it was a punishment to have to be inside when we were young.
Yeah.
That's, because everybody wanted to be outside with their friends.
Right.
I remember that.
Right.
I
Right.
remember the time I got punished, man.
Running around.
Shoot.
Yeah, man.
When
They
you had
told
to
you
sit-
couldn't go out?
What?
You felt like
Yo,
you
my window was
missing
right.
stuff.
Was right
Oh, and then you got
outside.
to watch it?
Man, what?
Extra
man, I had a
dangerous.
basketball bouncing. I'm like, oh, they outside playing.
That was
They having a
torture.
good time. What?
That was torture.
Definitely was.
That's why I didn't do the discipline of timeout or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
It was always take away something that they want, not necessarily a toy,
Right.
but a place they want to go.
Boom.
And it was like,
Maybe
nope.
that's where I got it from.
Yeah, that hurt me.
Because I'll do that with my kids sometimes. I'll be like, okay, I see what you're up to. I see what you're up to. And then they'd be like, hey, can I go there? I'd be like, no. They'd be like, why can't I go? I'd be like, because you did this shit. Yeah, but that was, I go, yeah, punishment for punishment. That's what it is.
That's it.
And
to
then
me,
they'd
I felt
be
that
angry.
you would learn.
Yeah, to be
Because-
better than that. Yeah.
You could sit in the corner for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or
Right.
whatever it is. What is that going to do?
Right.
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, you might sit with your thoughts, but, it's not going to really, you're not going to feel it, is what I felt.
Right.
She was
take
she
something
was trying to
away.
snatch my soul.
Hey, believe me, that hurt. Believe me.
That's going to hurt when you can't go to that
Right.
social event with your friends.
Exactly.
That hurt.
Yeah. Can't go to that birthday party
I ain't go to prom. My 11th year prom.
because you got in trouble.
Yeah, I wanted to go too.
Yeah. And that's what they took away.
Yeah, I got a bad grade.
Oh.
Yeah, but home a bad grade,
Yep.
and it was like, nah,
Can't award that.
no.
Can't award that.
That's cool though.
I
When am I seeing you?
never went to one prom.
What? I went to my senior year.
I didn't either. I didn't go to either. Well, we didn't have a junior prom. We just had a senior prom. But I wasn't there.
Right. Wow.
I was already gone.
That's because this legend was born.
I wasn't in school.
Cool.
Oh wow. This water's good.
Man, my prom was messed up. I went, but it was cool. But my rest is so, man. I got a ride. I got a ride there. So it's me, my date, and two of my other friends, and their date. So we go to prom. End of the night, 12 o'clock. I calls home. All right, where's y'all at?
Yeah.
I got people with me. Where y'all at? Man, they didn't get there till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Who?
My driver.
Your driver?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So we outside a prom looking crazy.
For like a couple hours.
Limo's gone.
Just
People
quiet,
saying bye.
crickets.
I'm like, damn. I got my friends behind me. Me and my date.
That was
I'm
awesome,
looking, man. I was like, oh, this is bad. This is bad.
Just waiting out in the forest.
Just it was looking bad. So that's the only thing I meant for my
2
prom.
in the morning.
Man, what?
Damn. And y'all paid for this?
No.
It was just random.
It was my people's.
Your people's.
Yes,
Oh
he supposed
my
to pick us
God,
up,
even
man.
Worse.
But, you know, he was drinking. He was drinking.
He's having his own prom.
We've all been
Yeah,
there.
he
We've
passed
all been
out.
there.
I'm
Yeah.
calling home.
Got you.
I'm like, oh, come pick us up, man.
Lifeguard was not on duty.
Yeah, he was knocked out.
I went to the after prom,
That's all good.
Yeah.
but we didn't go to the prom.
Damn,
I didn't even think about
we
that.
missed that.
Yeah, I missed all that. I didn't get to none of that.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's,
I didn't wanna
It's
go.
all good. Yeah,
Just didn't want to go.
ain't nothing to remember.
Yeah.
I just remember that night though that I didn't get picked up till 2:00 in the morning, and I had my friends with me all crazy.
I know, right?
That's the that.
He's coming, man.
Hey,
He's coming.
right,
He's right around the corner.
right. That's
and
what
you
I'm
know what?
worried
See,
about.
wait, look. See, for the youngins.
That's what I was worried about.
For the youngins, you know what I mean?
that?
Like, be like, man, you had to wait. There's nothing you could
Yeah,
do.
You couldn't Uber.
Yeah, there's no Uber back then. There's
Right.
no. I mean, unless you could call someone else, that's the only
But you
other
didn't have
option.
a
That's
cell
it.
phone.
But well, he said he called him probably
Oh.
from the school.
Yeah.
From the school, right?
Oh, okay.
nah,
Did you have your own? Oh yeah, he had his own phone by then.
yeah, I had a phone.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
probably early
headphones.
2000s or something.
Yeah,
Something like
I had
that.
a phone.
You had a phone by then.
Yeah, it had no kids. No kids was out by then.
Right.
There was no
We
kids.
didn't have no phones. You
no
had to-
square phone.
You had to have a dime and a pay phone.
Right.
Mm.
Well, not only that, but remember in those times though too, like when you made that call and they said they were on their way, there's no tracking them. You don't know where they're at. You just
Right.
have to wait.
Wait
Right,
till they get
right,
there.
right.
You know, like and then like because like people will ask sometimes like, well, you know, like what did you do like when you got picked up from school? You waited. You didn't know when they were going to be there. There was no calling nobody. You would just, I mean, there was times like you said, you see them in the old movies where you're just sitting on the steps waiting till like an hour later, and then finally someone comes and gets you. You know, like, you had
Right.
no clue. You were like, this could be it. Maybe they forgot me. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
I'm
went
like,
through
man,
those
what's
moments.
going on? Yeah.
Yeah, you had because like an hour go by, they said they was on the way. You're like, there's no way.
Yeah,
a long
there's no
time.
way to say we're stuck in traffic.
Right, nothing,
You know?
no,
Or whatever it
or
was.
whatever it was. It was an accident, traffic. You had to stop for some reason, flat tire, nothing.
Damn.
You just had to
Yeah.
get the story when they got there.
Right. See, and that's why I love so strong back then. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You come
We
home,
had-
gotta tell you stories,
Yeah.
you know, tell you how your day was.
It was so much. Yeah, there was like I said, there was no way to just instantly share things so that people could see what's going.
Right.
I'm live right now. you
Right.
know?
Right.
Like there was none of that. Yeah. You
Yeah,
had to
that-
just wait. You had to have trust and faith that other person was going to do what they said.
Bomb droppers.
That is very
Right.
true.
Yeah, that's
Right.
how much respect we had to have for people. It's like, hey, you gotta wait. They said they was on their way.
They coming.
They're coming, man. Yeah,
Shoot. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That was the norm.
yeah, because that's what they would call like a latchkey kid. Is I used to come home, and they wouldn't let me be at the house. Okay, so let's look at the logic of this at this point, right? So they didn't want me to come home and get in the house by myself, but I could come home and sit on the porch like a goddamn savage for hours until they would let me in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand this. Like, the neighbor sometimes would be like, hey, man, you want to come chill, have a glass of Kool-Aid or something? I'm like, I guess, man, I don't know where my dad is.
Oh, man.
He's coming, though. He said he was on his way.
You gotta hold on.
But that's why I said that's what that is. And it's like you just learn patience. You learned, and then they would show up, and then they were there, and you just, you forgot all about all that.
Yeah, and everything was fine.
Everything was
Right.
fine, But yeah, that's the now, like I said, someone calls you or texts you or something, you don't respond in 5 minutes. They're like, "You okay? Is everything fine?" You're like,
Oh my God.
Mm.
Because now you can just share your location.
right,
And so some of, your sister's friends will like panic. Where are you?
When you're
what are you
when
doing?
there's somewhere weird.
Yeah, they'll call her and say, "Are you okay?" Because it shows you're here and there, you know.
Right, certain spaces.
Yeah. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays
Why-
you might gotta check.
Why are you in the middle of the Puget Sound right now?
Because it'll
You
do
know what I'm
that. Brandon checked on us, and I was in the Puget Sound, and Desi was in the hotel.
Yeah. You were in the Puget Sound.
And we were in the same location.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Right. And he was like, wait a minute. Somebody's not where they're supposed to be.
Wow.
That is hilarious.
It's crazy.
That's good. But I guess if you're, But I mean, you have to randomly go, I'm going to go check on this person. That's a different level of love, I guess. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not used to it. It's not something I would do.
No.
Because I'm still good with let's have some distance. Can I miss you for a little while? And then I'll see you? You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm still with that. That's where I come from. You know what I mean?
I've gotten used to it because we
Right.
share our location, so we know where each other's are.
Right.
Are at.
But that- I
Just
mean,
for
I-
safety.
But I get that also too, like I said, like
Yeah.
when you're doing hikes, when they're doing hikes and
Yeah.
they're active, you know, my brother and sister are active. So I get it. If you're going off I'm about to go on this hike. Yeah, you want to give somebody a location and, you know, hey, I'm here just in case. Because we hear stories about that kind of weird shit all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, just for
That's what I'm
safety.
saying.
So I get-
Nowadays, you just
y'all
never
have
know.
a good working idea of that. That works.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
It's
why
not
we do it.
unhealthy. That's
'Cause
a
he's in the
healthy way to
mountains.
use
That's kind
that.
of holding. You know,
That's the healthy way to use
That's
that.
holding you together.
You know, because you got to remember, there's
Gotta
people in relationships that are unhealthy using that.
Well, that would be stalking. Yeah.
Well, yeah, some people call it stalking, some people call it a relationship. I get it.
That would be a toxic relationship.
Boom.
Bomb droppers.
I know, right? So yeah, that's kind of stuff.
Yeah, but that's stuff we could never do before.
Right.
We just went wherever we went,
Yeah.
and we just told them, "Hey, we're going here," but we really could have been over there. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't know.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
That's how I learned how to do it. I learned that real quick.
From back in the day.
I'm over here.
Yeah.
She's never gonna know.
That's exactly it. But
Track
my
me.
worry was, what if something happens to you? I just
Yeah.
want
You
to know
didn't
where
know
you
where
are.
to start.
That's
You
it.
wouldn't have known where to
Uh-huh.
start.
That's it, right?
I just want to know
Yeah.
where you are.
Right.
That was the only reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not like you can't go or whatever. You know?
Right.
I just want to know where you are in case
Yeah, no,
something happens.
Yeah, she let me get away with a lot.
That's
man.
it.
She let me get
But
away
that's
with
what I always said. To me, it was always
I had to
about
make some
trust.
mistakes. I had to make mistakes.
It was always about trust. I want to be able to trust that you can go somewhere and come back safely. You know,
Right.
basically that you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And once you break that trust, then I'm not going to trust you to go anywhere.
Right.
So that was my big thing.
Yeah.
So Desi used to tell me step by step
Right.
where she was,
Right.
but because she knew I was worried,
Yeah.
so it just gave me peace of mind.
Right. Right.
That's it.
Yeah. I probably drove her crazy.
Yes, she did.
Wow.
Well, Winnie had a car.
Yeah. I used to just
Oh,
be
man.
I knew.
That's it.
I'm
Just
out you.
gone
I
now.
just knew, and I just
Dang.
I had to just stop. That's why I finally just said, just stay at your aunt's house because I don't even want to know. I don't even know
Right. If
want to
you're-
know what
if
time
you're
you come
out
back.
there, I just don't even want to know.
I don't want to know.
Just know. I just want to know you're somewhere safe.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's all I cared about.
Yep. I would just call and be like, "All right, I'm going to Auntie house," and she'd be like, "Okay."
That way I could sleep because I
Yeah.
had to go to work.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all. Either
But
way.
I feel now looking back, I kind of feel like it was the universe or whatever you want to say, God,
Right.
his way of letting go, having to let those strings go because we grew up together. 'Cause
Right.
I was so young when I had him, and so we were really tight, and we were always together. So I think it was his way of letting him breaking it, breaking the strings, you know.
Right, because then I jumped off the porch and never came back.
Yeah.
That's the story she tells. She's like, yeah, and then you left and you never came back. There's always a tone in it.
Man.
But it's true.
I know. But like I said,
like,
at the
dang.
time, it's like when you're growing up, like you're saying, you're thinking I'm going to grow up and go do something with myself, not realizing that you also have to do that to go do that. You know what I mean? You have to break the bonds with your families and go do it if that's what you're going to go do. Yes, you could always live in the same town like a lot of people do and grow together. That happens. But to do what I guess my life path was going to be was I had to go, and just never thought about it that way until, years later when we would have conversations and talk. And then you see it. That's why we can joke about it. You know what I mean? That's why me and
Just
Mom
rip that Band-Aid off.
yeah, that's why we're so cool, throughout all the years is because of having that bond as a kid, going through the life struggles and ideas that have happened throughout our lives between our families and everything. It created a bond with us that is just, so, incredible that we can talk, we can laugh, we can talk about our past traumas and laugh about it. And I've given up on all that. Like I'm not letting that hold me down anymore.
Right.
Everything. So it's like, let's just have fun and talk about it, Welcome to Awkward Intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's why it's cool. That's
It's
why
all love, man.
That's why bringing moms on the show was so cool to be able to do this, because these are some of the conversations we have on the phone now. This is a lot of the back and forth we have now. We're talking about different things. Something comes up in my life, and I go, Mom, remember when I was like 7 and da-da-da? She went, oh, I remember that. Okay. I was like, remember, I have a similar scenario where that kind of thing is happening or whatever. And she was like, that's so weird. That is weird that happened again or whatever, We have all these conversations like this. And then I'll ask about old, ancestors and different people. We'll talk about those people sometimes, different things that I remember about those people. And then she'll go, I didn't even know you knew them like that, and stuff like that. Just because, you never know. You never know what I'm seeing that you're not seeing,
Or the different perspective. Because
Right.
you remember it one way, and then he might remember it another.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, that did happen. You forgot.
That little
did
piece,
happen.
that extra little detail, right. Right, yeah. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, my daughter said the same thing to me one time. She said, I just want our relationship to be like yours and your mom, And I was like, that
made me feel good.
Yeah, that made me think about it. It made me think about it. And I was like, because, our relationship, I just think it's normal. I don't think that this is anything extravagant. You know what I mean in that sense. I just think this is a normal kind of idea that I would have with my mom.
Yeah.
But a lot of people can look at it and go, man, you're so, y'all are just so in tune and chill, and you get each other to a point where you're not having conflicts, you're not arguing with each other, you're not doing anything, it's like you just get along. We can hang out. Like I can hang out with her like she's my friend. You know what I mean? Like that's how we do it. And so people can look at that and think like, damn, that is weird or incredible or whatever it is. But it's like, I don't see it that way. And so when she told me that, I wasn't thinking that I was supposed to have that same relationship with them, because it just wasn't, I still was in that I'm your father mode, and then I was like, you're right. Why can't we have that same relationship?
Well, I didn't have it with my parents. That's why. And that's why I knew with my kids, I wanted to be close. I mean, I did with my dad to a point, but my mom just wanted to be a mom.
But those were different times, too.
Yeah,
Different times, and just the way older people were, yeah.
We never talked about, I wasn't close with my mom at all. So, not to where I could talk like how we talk. We were close, but we didn't talk about important stuff.
Right.
Man, me and Mom Deuce close.
Nice.
Me and Mom Deuce close.
Yeah.
But it's some little things in there. I be trying to tell her some things. They be like, yeah. And they brush it off sometimes, but
Right. I'm with you.
I still bring it up.
Yeah, you got to keep
That's
bringing
all you
the
gotta
truth.
do.
Just keep bringing the
You know what I'm
truth.
saying?
Kind
But
of opens that door more and more every time you do.
Right.
And then maybe they're just uncomfortable.
Right.
So
I think they know, but they don't want to talk about it.
No, just not ready yet.
Yeah,
Just not ready yet.
You know, but overall, you know, we got a good bond. You know?
Yeah.
Everything cool.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's always a little thing here and there, you know.
Yeah.
Like you said, we can't agree on everything. You know, everybody can't agree on everything, but you know. Yeah. That's the deal. But yeah, things like that for
like
me.
y'all bond though.
Yeah, things like that for me have helped me get to this point, because that happened within the last couple of years. You know, I had to reevaluate myself when it came to me looking at my kids, looking at my family, looking at everything. I looked at it all and I said, I can't keep living like this. You know, like, I can't keep doing this. This is not going to get me anywhere. But I had to recognize that. I'm not, you know, and then I moved on. I built. I started studying. Started doing things. Started changing myself. You know, like I said, it's in the music. So yeah, it's like I put it all in the music. You see it evolving out of my music and everything too. So it's like it's all in there. You know, it's become a lifestyle change without really understanding that that's what I was doing. I was just changing everything in my life, like, you know, less negativity, more positivity, more learning, more, you know, more ideas, more, you know, this, and stop worrying about all that negative shit. That's why we're telling you, get fear out of your mind, because that's what that is. When you're thinking in those ways, it's because you have all this fear of what you think's going to happen, what could happen. You know, I don't want to go here because this is, you know, that's why when everybody says all that, you know, like, oh, you live near Baltimore, isn't it? I'm like, man, why do you keep watching the news? Like, you're just listening to the news, and because you're doing that, that's what you think.
Yeah.
You know,
the bad is everywhere.
It's
Doesn't
everywhere.
matter where you live.
You just need to know where and when to be so that you're not getting involved in those things.
But talking about that, like you're saying, when I was going to Mexico City, people are like, you're okay with that, going there? I'm like, why not? For one, I blend in, and but you know, when I speak, they know I don't, you know, speak Spanish, but I was like, it's like going to New York. People are afraid to go to New York because you know, you watch Law and Order, you know, so you see all the bad. But it's no matter where you go, you have to be aware of your surroundings.
Correct.
That's
and
it.
just know where to go and where not to go.
Be prepared, not scared.
Bomb droppers.
That's what we're preaching. That's what we're trying to say. Is stop being fearful about things. There's no reason to be fearful. Just be prepared and go do what you got to do. You know, make those experiences, get those memories, because you're going to sit there later and go, I wish I would have. And there's no reason to do that if you have the chance. Just do it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I was telling, your younger sibling, your siblings.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the word, but that's the only, like, I could say is regret as being older, is having the fear stop me of doing.
Right.
And that's it. You know, the fear of even the fear of the unknown.
Right.
You know, but it was always, I'm not sure, you know, should I, shouldn't I? But now it's like, I'm going, I'm going to do, and I'm going to go. Because I don't want to have any of those regrets anymore.
Right. That's the idea.
So that's, if I would have been able to get over that fear of just that first step, and it, you know, could have been different.
Right.
There could have been
How many things could have been different? Right.
So.
But you had to learn that lesson. And maybe that was part of it. You had to miss some things so that you could look back and learn and go, you know what, I'm not going to continue to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you never really thought about it, or had it meant enough for you to think about it, you know, you might have never changed.
That's what I told her, you know, that's the only thing I feel, that only regret I can say, as, you know, as my age now, of looking back, that's the only regret I have, is having fear stop me.
Right. Right.
That's it. Other than that, I'm fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I might have that fearful moment.
Correct.
But I'm going to keep going.
Correct. There's nothing wrong with experiencing the fear.
Right.
But then you have to work through that, and that's the whole facing your fears thing. You
go
know,
through it.
You got to go through it and go, you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me, though.
And
you can always think about it.
Yeah, and you can go and take a few steps, and then like, okay, I'm fine. You know.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fear. Just and then keep moving.
Right.
You know, sometimes you might have to take a couple steps back and like, okay, maybe I need to rethink this.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
At least start. At least try.
Bomb droppers.
I feel like she's been watching the show because she's just reiterating everything I tell her.
Shit.
We said the same thing. Just start. Just get it going. Make your first step. We've been saying it.
Gotta drop that fear. Like you said,
Exactly.
you know, she says, hey, she dropped the fear. You know what I'm saying? She still, you know, she still feel it.
Yeah.
But you gotta go through it.
I still have it, but I've learned to recognize it now and just like, okay, let it go. And go.
And that's
Drop the
the
fear.
whole point of be prepared, not scared.
Not scared. Yeah.
You felt the moment. You prepared what do I need to do to prepare that so in case that happens or whatever, and then you're like, okay, and then keep moving. Instead of going, oh, no way, I'm not doing that because I don't even want to deal with that, you know, or whatever. You talk yourself out of it. That's what ends up happening. So yeah, you got to start somewhere, you know, and get it moving. Make that first step, and then you'll realize, I'm with you because I'm telling you, I'm a Pisces. I procrastinate sometimes. And so I'll be like, you know, some people will be like, why haven't you taken care of that? And I'm like, I just don't want to deal with it right now. You know, like that's my thought process. Not that I'm scared of it or whatever. It's like I just don't want to deal with it right now.
Right.
But then I'll turn around one day, I'll get the motivation, I'll do it, and then I'll be like, man, I knew I could have did this in one day. That's probably why I didn't want to do it, because I knew I could just get it done when I was ready. You know, so that's how I look at it. That's why, you know, some people will say, oh, that's probably easy to fix. And I'm like, you're right. I just don't want to deal with it right now.
Right, you gotta move when you want to move.
I'll get to it, right? And so I'm with it.
I think we all have that, though.
Right, we all have a sense of that to a degree, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to a degree of some kind, right? Definitely. Wow.
Everybody gets in their comfort zone, but I'm trying not to stay in my comfort zone.
Correct.
Because I have siblings that's what they do. They
Right.
have their little square that they stay in.
Right, their box, right?
Their little box.
Yeah. And you know, some people are going to be that, you know, but yeah. If you don't want to be that person, then you've got to take those steps to not get caught up in those situations. So
And that's what I've been doing.
Right.
Especially now that I can move around freely.
Right, exactly.
I can come and go and be and not have to, you know, worry about a job. So
Nice.
Yeah, you said that the other night. Nice. Remember, you said that's what this is all about, is being able to be in the places you need to be when you need to be.
yeah, the best thing about being retired, that's what we were saying, is I can be where I'm needed to be.
Bomb droppers.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup. And throughout everything, you know, the turmoil in our lives right now and everything that's going on there, she's here, you know.
Exactly. Because this is
Family
where I
members,
need to be.
family members are here. They've been here, you know. We've been going through this together. And that's exactly what we said from the beginning was, this is how family works. When family is needed and they're called upon by whatever means, they show up, they do the job with, you know, they don't expect nothing. They're here because they love you, you know. And so that's what we have to remember. We've been saying it. Spread the love, you know.
That's
Get,
it.
faith over fear. Get all those things together. Sam strong, you know. And that's what it's all about. Is it's all about the love, respect, and loyalty that you've built with your tribe, your family, and everybody around you. And when they are needed, they will be there. And it doesn't matter if they think you need them or not.
Bomb droppers.
They are there, and then sometimes that's all that matters. It's not anything they're saying. It's not the money they can bring or whatever. It's what they're. Yeah, it's just them being there and being available. So yeah, that's what it comes down to sometimes.
All love. All love. I got that on my arm for a reason.
Yep.
All love. It's in me.
Yeah,
And I spread it.
it's what makes the world go around.
ppeintox.com. Check out the shirt. Bomb droppers.
Hey, bomb droppers. Oh. Bomb droppers. No.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry to ruin the mood.
Yeah.
But
No.
We didn't ruin it.
It's all good, you know, because then Thursday, I get a call saying that somebody, you know, that was close to the family, you know, that be, you know, basically raised, he passed.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like,
It's just, it's happening
this.
everywhere.
I'm like, man, what is going on,
Yeah.
man?
Yep.
I'm like, this is wild, man. It's wild, you know.
They say it comes in threes, and I always wonder what does that really mean?
Right.
What does it come in threes?
Because we all know numbers mean things.
Yeah.
So where's that saying come from? It must mean
That's
something.
what I want to know. Where did that saying come from? Because
Yeah.
I always say it comes in threes.
Something we was told probably.
Right. Yeah, maybe that's something we got to look at. That's your homework, folks.
Something we was told.
Somebody
man.
posted in the
Yeah.
comments. It's in here. You got one?
Yeah, I got a gnat that keeps.
We got a little friend.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's why it's like I'm doing
probably.
this. Keeps flying in my face.
Yeah, just put it in the comments. Somebody will figure that out. Where does that saying come from? It comes in threes.
But if you haven't seen the movie Clone Tyrone,
Oh, we just watched it.
just watch that.
Go for it.
You see it,
Spoiler alert. Let's go.
man.
Yeah, no, it's probably right.
That's right in your face.
They take.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a satire, so it's like over the top,
Yeah.
but it's like over the top good. You know, it's not cringy. You know, it has some cringy moments though. You're like,
It's
But
yeah,
but yeah, it's really
That's
it's,
really was-
it's interesting though,
Man,
right?
it's-
It's very interesting.
Wow.
It's very interesting. I'll say
It gives
that.
you a whole nother perspective, right?
yeah.
You're like, what am I doing in Atlanta? Once you see the movie, you'll get it.
Wow, unbelievable.
So yeah, they
You
clone
Tyrone.
Tyrone. That's the joint.
You
It's out there.
Tyrone.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's got funny moments. It's got serious moments. It's got satirical moments. You know, it's a little of everything.
You gotta watch it with that third eye.
Yeah.
Gotta open that thing.
Yeah.
Don't just watch the movie; just be watching it. Like, you know,
Yeah,
gotta-
it'll resonate to you.
I think it will.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like when you watched it, I wasn't like talking and explaining anything really or nothing. We just watched it.
just watched it.
Because I wanted her to see it. I had already seen it technically at the time,
Yeah,
but I wanted her to see it. But I didn't want to like influence it. So
I had to say it again. Though.
So yeah, that's why I was cool with watching it again. I was like, I'll watch it again because I was like,
Well, that's why I want to watch that movie again. The one that just won the Academy Award, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Oh, you didn't?
I watched
Oh.
it, and I didn't get it.
Okay,
But now I
I'll put
want
it
to
on.
see
I'll
it
put
again.
it on. We'll have
Yeah.
to- yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch it with another. Yeah,
So-
Yeah, because I was like,
Yeah,
the whole time
tomorrow
I
or
was
something,
like,
or tonight if we
can
have
look
some
at
time.
it, you know, like what?
I'll throw it on.
or
Okay.
you could watch another movie I just watched the other night
What you got?
or last night. The Tomorrow War.
Oh, okay. Tomorrow War.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was on Prime.
You seen that?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that one's interesting
yeah,
too, ain't it?
and then, now we talking about
Time
Russia
travel and
earlier
shit, right.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's interesting too. I
Shit,
remember that one.
maybe, yeah. And I was like, wow, okay, this was really going on out here, huh?
Yeah, stuff like that. Right. That's the.
Because they got to show you before they do.
You take a piece from that. You take a piece from that movie. You take a piece from that, and then you start seeing how it all kind of just comes together. You know.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's everywhere because, like I was telling you, with Raiders, I just watched the latest Raiders of the Lost Ark. And
Yeah, you said
the way it
stuff was
ends.
in there.
The way it ends, I was like, wow.
See?
It's on par with what we're talking about and what we're saying. Got you. Yeah, I mean, you got to think that the writers are probably us now, anyways, our age, you know.
Yeah.
But-
exactly. Yeah.
But not even that. I mean, there's still older ones and there's still younger ones. But you're right. If all that's getting in there, that means it's coming from a collective of people. The writers, the researchers, the people that are building these are collectively coming up with these ideas. You know.
exactly.
So
yeah.
it must mean something. So yeah.
That's why, to me, I feel like you can't ignore it because it's everywhere. If once you're aware of it,
Right.
You see it.
Once you got the glasses on.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
Man.
Before I was like, whatever.
I know. Yeah. I know.
But then it was like, oh my God, it was everywhere. It was just
everywhere.
like
I can't stop
in
seeing
your
it.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People better wake up, man. They better stop scanning y'all face too.
Oh no, the pandemic got us, man.
They already got it.
Yeah. Remember every time you had to they had to check your temperature somewhere?
Yeah.
They got your
They
face
got
now.
you.
Yeah.
They got
I
us
told
now,
him.
bro.
I said, when we came back from Mexico, you don't.
They did it
Yes.
at the airport. She said they have it at the airport. She didn't even have to show her fucking passport. They just face scanned her and were like, "You're good." They knew who she was.
This was just in January.
Wow.
It's already out there, folks.
Bomb droppers.
Yeah. They kept saying, have your passports out. Have your passports ready. And so we got in line, and I have my passport. And they're like, look into that screen. And so we did. And they're like, okay. And they didn't do anything with my passport.
Didn't even look at it.
Didn't even look at it.
Wow. At the
I'm
airport.
telling you.
That was in Mexico City.
That's how they get us.
Wow.
I'm telling you. It happens. It starts somewhere like that, and then all of a sudden it's everywhere.
Boom.
Yep.
Because everywhere else, they wanted my passport.
Right.
But when I left, they did not.
Yeah.
They just had us look at that screen.
Face scan.
They scanned her and then said, "You're good. You're not from here."
Like, go back to your prison.
I'm saying.
Oh,
Oh. Bomb droppers.
told you. Told you.
Wow.
We're all just prisoners here.
You're in the wrong one. Go.
We're just moving from section to section.
Wow.
Yeah,
We're-
it blew my mind. I'm telling you, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what? Okay.
So what did it do? Like it scans your face.
It was like a tablet,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but it was on a tripod. And
Yeah.
and so there was two of them. And you go through, and they had the people that they pulled over and wanted to look at their luggage again.
I just seen an episode about this too.
And they just said, just look in that screen. And so you just walked up. I was like, kind of like, where, you know? And then they're like, you're good. And they just let me go on
Just
through.
pushed you through.
Wow.
Wow. Yep. See? It's out there, folks. You heard it here first on Awkward Intelligence.
I was like, okay. I had my ticket and my passport. I was like, I guess they don't need this.
Yep.
We got on the plane.
Or
So
that was all a fake out, and they just be letting people through. Who knows who's in this country, folks?
Could be.
You never know. It could go the other way, too.
But when I got to the States, they wanted to see my passport.
I know, right? So they're going to send you out on facial recognition from one country, and then the other country's like, wait a minute.
that's what I'm saying.
Did you change identities in that plane?
I think they taking the data or something, man.
You
That's
know what I mean?
saying, man.
Yeah.
You gotta leave that
Exactly.
the face stuff alone, man.
It's got to be some shit like that.
Yeah. But
Gotta
I
be
just went to
something going on.
Cabo, and everywhere there I had to show my passport going in, coming out. Back.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good catch. No, I'm just kidding.
I just like was
No, really. That.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're right. Because, see, that's how they normalize it, right? Like we're saying, because people just start doing it, but you don't question it. And then when everybody's doing it, you're like, wait, that happened like a year ago when I was it.
Yeah, that shit ain't no.
You don't realize it. It just shows up, and now everybody's doing it. So, yeah.
well. When I think back now, when I went to Israel, which
Right.
was 2008, I went to Israel.
Okay.
And when we were coming back, I can't remember if it was Tel Aviv or if it was, I'm thinking it was Tel Aviv when we first got there.
Right.
We had to sit at a machine to take our picture at that time. And that was 2008.
So you sat in a machine, and then it took your picture, and then was instant answer, or that was for later?
I don't know what it was for.
Oh shit! You just gave them pictures.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice.
You didn't even ask for
So
no
going
money.
into Tel
gotta get
Aviv,
on that.
everybody had to sit at this machine.
Oh, they took your DNA
and you
and
had
everything.
to
That was a
you had to
digital
adjust
DNA.
your face to make sure it was in the square.
What?
and they took your picture.
Oh, they were doing it way
But what
back
happened with that? I have no
right.
idea.
You didn't give them
I
consent
have no
for none
idea.
of that.
But you couldn't go any farther until you did that.
That's what I'm saying. They made you feel like you had to do it. And here's the thing. This is how they do it. They go, "Oh, you don't want to do it? Well, we don't want you in our country either."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you didn't do it,
So
you couldn't go to the next checkpoint.
But that's how they trick us. That's what we have to realize is when they're doing things like that to us, there's an agenda behind it. Because otherwise, you wouldn't care if I did it or not.
Yeah. And I didn't think anything about it
Not at the time, yeah.
at the time because it's everybody did it because I was like, well, I was gonna say I'm not gonna do that, but everybody they're like, you have to. Just, okay, so you just follow the crowd, and then I didn't think anything about it until Mexico City
When you got
when
you
they
got
made
facial scanned?
Yeah.
Then she was like, "It's happening again."
But this one was like a tablet. This was like a tablet.
Look at you.
On
See?
the side.
It was meant for you to have those experiences, to then come here on Awkward Intelligence and tell us that story so you guys can get the information.
Bomb droppers.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. Face scan.
Yo.
Face recognition. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, airports. How have those changed in so many years, right? Just all the stuff that happens in airports. It's like, because remember we were talking about that. That's that shit that's on the internet I saw. Was they said the airport is super secure everywhere until it's time to get your own bag.
Yeah. Then anybody can grab it.
Anybody can grab your bag. They don't give a fuck about your bag at that point. They're like, bringing it in here. We need to look at your shit. Oh, you want to come in the airport? We got to frisk you. Oh, you're leaving now? Fuck off.
That's so
Think about that
Have
shit.
your bags running.
Your bag, they don't give a fuck about your
Right.
bags after that.
Right, it just keeps spinning the shit. That's wild.
Nobody, there's no security guard down there going, "Is that your bag?" Nobody gives a
Oh,
fuck.
yeah, that's true.
No.
Wow.
You could there's people that literally make a living by walking in there, grabbing bags and walking out and then selling everything in their bags.
That's not funny.
true.
How you going to
Funny.
stop
It's
them?
not funny, but it's true.
How you going to stop them? There's no
Right.
security to stop them.
And some people, oh, man.
Think about that. My bad. I just gave everybody an unethical hack. Don't be doing that shit, man. That's rude.
Oh, man. That's
But it
bad.
happens. It was bad there for a while in SeaTac.
Yeah.
Losing your luggage.
That's why you got to be
That's what
quick.
everything be in
That's
there,
the
too. That's
idea.
the one you put everything in there and everything.
You get off
That's
that
why
plane.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get off that plane. You might have to hold it. Got to get to that line.
Like if they
you know?
want my clothes, go for it.
Right.
But I don't put anything of value in there.
Super
Right.
value, right?
Yeah, that's why
I
my
carry it
ID
all
chopped
on.
out.
Yep. See, Mom says she said I carried it on me.
That's it.
I carry it all on.
Keep it on me.
Yeah.
That's why they made backpacks.
Okay, yep. Damn. That's crazy. People gotta make a living like that, man.
Right.
I always keep my ID on the person.
Yeah, it's always on me. Yeah, I'll never. Or in my backpack, if yeah.
Yeah, but when I'm in the airport, I keep it on my person.
Even when they tell you nothing in your pockets.
Well, you got to take it out for that.
Okay, I was gonna say because I got in trouble for doing the same thing.
What?
Yeah, you can't.
I
Take
put
ID?
my ID just in my pocket, thinking I can just put my ID in my
See,
pocket.
just like me.
And then you go in
My
there and
shit
you do the
chopped
scan shit, And then the second I went in there, the guy was like, "Didn't I say everything out of your pockets?" I was like, "My ID too, man." He's like, "Everything." I was like, "Won't make that mistake again."
Yeah, I have a little like coin purse that I'll put all my ID, credit card, everything that I
Right.
need immediately, and then you throw it in your backpack. But it's easy to find.
Right.
once you
Pull it
go-
right
when-
back out and
and then put everything back in my pocket.
and then roll out. Right. Exactly. You
I've
gotta
got
do-
it down.
Yeah.
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 See,
There is
I just
a
about
thing.
to say. I just about to say.
Yeah. He doesn't fly.
Oh, I've got it down.
Like one of them smart
Yeah, yeah, she's got it.
packers.
Yeah, she
You
probably.
know how to pack. You know how to pack well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting better. I used to take the whole, whole house.
Yeah, of
kitchen
course.
to
You
the-
know, and she's a woman, so you know how that works. You know what I mean?
But
So-
I'm doing better.
But she's able to, get it.
But yeah,
She got
'cause I
it
used to-
consolidated over the years.
I used to throw it in my backpack, but then I'd have to dig through it. Where's my ID? Where's my chapstick? Like that. So now I get this little pouch and I put everything in. And then when you have to go through security, put it back in your backpack. And when you get out of security, you just grab the pouch.
Put everything back in
your
place.
pockets.
Yep.
Make it pass.
Keep it moving.
Especially if you're running, because you're running late
Right.
and you have to run to your gate.
Right. How often you got to do that?
Wow.
Not very often. Well, it depends on the airport.
Right.
Yeah, but so you can't be late now. What you gotta be there? What? An
Hour and a half. Hour and a half is
Not
probably
at
safe.
SeaTac.
Okay.
SeaTac, 2 hours minimum.
BWI, hour and a half, you're fine. Yeah.
But I got TSA pre-check now, so it's a lot
See?
faster.
Yeah. 45 minutes.
San Antonio,
Pushing it.
30 minutes.
Right.
See, it just depends on the airport.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because one time
Lafayette. When we went to
Yeah,
Lafayette,
those regionals.
you can roll up there 15 minutes before. It's like 15 minutes.
They
put
got
your
like-
bag in, go upstairs. There's 2
I was
terminals.
gonna say there's one gate or one.
There's two gates. That's it.
That's
two
how.
gates.
We're,
Oh wait, no, they
Fayetteville.
upgraded. They got a new one now.
Oh,
I think it has 4.
Oh boy. SeaTac is
I
an
think it's got 4
international,
gates now.
and it's always busy. Always busy.
Shout out South.
It takes forever. That's why I finally did the TSA pre-check. Because I used to get it I never paid for it before, and I used to just get it because of my job. But now that I'm retired, now I have to pay for it.
Oh,
So yeah.
Yeah.
La Bouchée.
As a La
La
That's a little
Bouchée.
benefits
yeah.
you got.
But
you
San
know.
Antonio,
Sometimes you miss
I
your little
got
benefits.
Right.
I got there 30 minutes before my plane was going to take off, and I made it. And still had to wait to get on.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
With time to spare.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was.
That's how fast it is.
she
There
just-
was nobody in line
just sitting
to
there.
check in your bag. Nobody in line.
in security.
for
You just walk
security.
through.
I go to the gate, and they weren't even boarding. And the plane was supposed to take off in 30 minutes.
Wow.
That's how easy it is in San Antonio. It's great.
Nice.
Not SeaTac. Oh, my God.
Mm.
The lines will be out the door
I'll be out the door.
because there's so many people traveling.
Because of the internationality, right?
Because we're like one of the gateways from Japan and like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I flew to Japan. That's where I went out. Yeah, I went out. So.
Wow. That's a lot of flying.
Yeah. Japan
So
is,
sorry.
I think it's
Something I have to-
16 hours
16 hours.
over water the whole time.
Man.
That's called faith.
And we had to stop this thing about 5 times.
You just look outside and you're like, yep, still water out there.
Yeah, it
Wow.
was. When I flew from Seattle to Atlanta, that's 6 hours, but over land. And then it was 13 hours from Atlanta to Tel Aviv, but I don't know if it was land, water, what it was, but it was 13 hours.
Well, it would have
After
probably been a
flying
lot of water
6.
because you definitely got to go over the Atlantic, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I know it was land and water, but you know what
Gotcha.
I mean?
Yeah.
But it was 13 hours.
Unless you're a flat earther.
Hey.
We don't know what we're flying over. We really don't.
We really don't.
But yeah, we can get ready to start wrap this thing up. Final thoughts. Anything else you want to share with the folks?
You know me, spread love, baby.
I was just
Hey.
going to say, just don't let fear stop you.
Boom.
Bomb droppers. Don't let fear stop you.
I think that's the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Don't let fear stop you. Featuring
You
Mom.
can't. You just, you know what? Yeah.
That's it.
Just got Incredible Hulk. Just go through with it.
Yeah.
For real. No fair.
Yep. Put the hashtag in there. Yeah, we'll make it all work. It'll be cool. This is fun.
Yeah.
This was good. So what did you think?
It was good. A little
Yeah.
nervous
Right.
here and there. I don't know where to look sometimes.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Hey.
But that's what I'm saying. You're not doing this for a living, so it's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know?
it went fast.
Yeah.
It went fast.
Yeah. Now, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said, once we get going, you're not even going to think about it. You're just going to.
Except for this gnat that
Yeah.
keeps
Yeah.
bothering me.
No, right? Why is it over there?
Yeah. Nice. Well,
But yeah. Thank you for coming.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
It was fun.
Appreciate
Yeah, it was just kind of spur of a moment situation, because of everything going on. But I thought it would bring a lot of good energy to the show to finally have our first female. Everybody's been asking about it. Everybody's wondered, what about a female perspective of some sort? We brought moms. So yeah, thank you for stopping by. Episode 34, Awkward Intelligence. I'm Intox along with
BDot, baby.
and we got moms today. Thank you.
Mom's in his house. Bomb droppers.